And welcome to the No Name Yet podcast. That is the podcast with no name. And again on the show this evening, the podcaster of all podcasters, the podcast of all podcasts, the Chamberlain coffee drinker when he drinks coffee, Griddy.
That's right. Now you check out the interview of all interviews because I told you that my interview today sucked that I did.
It might have been it might have been subconsciously, but I didn't do that intelligently.
Must have really sucked. You didn't even hear it yet. You took out the intro.
What I say? I said I didn't do that consciously. I did it subconsciously, and I said something about intelligently. What the heck was that word?
I didn't listen to you. I was thinking about what I was thinking about. I don't listen to people really, to be honest.
I just wanted to switch it up. But you had an interview that did not.
I don't think it went that well.
Okay.
We'll see.
But you are your biggest critic.
That is true.
That is true.
See how it goes. We'll see in December when it comes out.
All right. That sounds good. And so you are on break, but yet you are still doing some podcasts to have a library of podcasts to put up in December.
And you got to stay fresh. You got to stay warm. I don't think I'm going to do many. I think that might be the only one I'm going to do for mine. And then, I'll be on yours, but got to stay limber,
Okay. Yeah. So, you've just started the break. How does that feel?
It feels pretty good. I'm listening to a lot of audiobooks right now. I just banged out one little murder mystery, and I'm on to another one. And I got another one on the way, playing Left 4 Dead. And I'm off my Instagram break today, so I'll probably be swiping like a madman tonight. Okay. I went off that for a week. It's been good. It's been fun.
And what was the effect of taking an Instagram break?
Because I am on it way too much.
Okay.
So I just needed a little reprieve. Is that the right word?
Yes.
Need a little time off.
So
get my brain back. So
the break has been beneficial.
I guess so. I think so. I mean, I didn't go on it, so I didn't break. I didn't crack, so that was good. I wasn't that addicted to it if I didn't crack yet. So I think you should take a break from everything once in a while, especially something you're very on like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something you're very you're very focused on. It's not very good for your mind anyway. The constant swiping through Instagram is not good for you.
Yeah.
So next time it'll probably be like a month. The only reason I really can't do them is because we have to post things a lot of times. So it's like, this was the perfect time for me to at least take a week because I don't have to post anything right now. I just went on Instagram to go live with Justin, and then that was all I needed to do. I just went on and went right off. I didn't check any notifications or anything. So kind of cheated, kind of didn't, whatever. Okay. So I'll probably take maybe another one right before we come back. I'll probably take another week.
Okay. And you use that as a promotion for the podcast?
Yes.
And
Instagram stories and stuff.
And that's effective?
Very.
Very?
Yeah. So that's why Justin can't do it, especially because it works really good for him.
Okay.
It's a nice little tool. And TikTok, I took a break from TikTok too, because it's kind of the same app.
Yeah, TikTok is crazy.
You get sucked into that thing for hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a break from TikTok too. But the thing about that is on Instagram, they have the shorts now. So I've been scrolling through those a little bit. So I've been kind of cheating.
Okay.
But I didn't say YouTube, so what are you going to do next time? Better luck next time.
So as we were talking, something came to my memory that I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but you were listening to a podcast called Meet Cute.
Yeah.
A RomCom podcast.
That's right.
And you reached out to them.
Yes.
And you were interested in participating on the podcast?
Well, no, because they had put out a Instagram post about that they were hiring people for a podcast. So I just put my application in for that.
And what they say?
They declined.
They declined.
Yeah, they didn't say why. They were just like, but they declined very nicely. I don't want to make it seem like they just like shut the door on my face. They were just like, nah, we're not right now. We're good, but maybe some other time, maybe for another whatever.
Okay.
I don't know what the podcast was about. I don't know what it was. to the best of my knowledge, it was not a podcast like they usually do, where it's like a story. It must have been a podcast where you talk about rom-coms or something like that. And I was like, oh, I could do that.
Okay.
I'll be something different for them. They never seen them like this.
And then,
So they're probably just gonna have some like, cute girls or like whatever to do it. I don't know.
and that is one of your favorite genres,
Of podcasts?
rom-com. No, movies.
Oh, movies. I mean, it's probably like my second, third favorite, not my first favorite. I don't really watch that many movies, but yeah, when I do, I could watch those. It's Christmas time, so I'm gonna watch Last Christmas. I'm gonna watch New Year's Eve.
I can't believe it's been a year already.
It's been a year since we watched Last Christmas. I'm gonna watch it again, and I could even say Bad Santa is a little bit of a rom-com because he gets into a little love. He gets into like a little thing with a girl there. I love rom-coms. They're great.
Okay. All right.
Something's got to give. You can appreciate that because Jack Nicholson's like pushing 60, so you can watch that one to get inspiration for your later years in love. Watch that one.
Well, thank you for the recommendation.
It's a great movie.
Okay.
That might be my favorite rom-com. I don't know. It's right up there.
Okay.
Yes, but they declined, so you would not be hearing me on that podcast. I don't think anytime soon.
Okay. All right. And you rolled with it.
With the denial?
Yes.
What am I going to show up to the building? I can't do nothing about it. I just said, okay, thanks a lot. If you have anything, whatever. I appreciate it. I said I appreciated you telling me, like, basically by email and not just like leaving somebody hanging. That could definitely happen. It happens all the time. So I appreciated a respectful email that declined. Yeah,
at least they didn't ghost you.
No, she was cool. She was like, oh, your application said this. I really like that about it, but blah, blah, blah. Okay. And so we talked about that, and that was it. It was very nice. I think her name was Julie. Very, very nice. Yeah. Very nice lady.
Okay. So I want to share something that I hadn't planned on sharing, and then I have some news for you after that.
Great. I'm all ears.
So when I was working as a chaplain in the hospital today, I went into a room to see another patient, and the first patient in the room was somebody that I know. And I do have a lot of love for this person, and without giving any details about her, she can be a force to contend with sometimes. So nice. At another time, when she was in the hospital, I walked in and she looked at me, and the first thing that she said to me was, "Oh, no, Richard, you have a belly now."
Oh, wow. Welcome back. Good to see you again. It's been a while.
So.
And you haven't seen her for how long until then?
I probably hadn't seen her maybe for a year.
Wow.
Yeah. And nice today, I went bedside, and I don't know what's going on with my hair right now. It looked a lot better earlier.
That's the usual coif you got. Looking usual.
Well, it looked better earlier when I was on Zoom for another meeting. And
gelled it.
Well,
you should gel it to the exact position you want it.
She looks at my hair and she says, "Oh, Richard, what are you trying to look all that? You got your hair going on there?"
Well, that's kind of a compliment. That's a lot better than "you got fat."
Yeah, it was.
She said, "You're looking like you're all that." She's basically saying, you're put together.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking a little over put together. Looking a little extra. Or that's what I'm assuming she was saying.
Right.
So that's a compliment. That's great.
Yeah, it was. It was better than the belly.
You didn't say, "Richard, you got larger." You said, "Richard, you got grayer," or "Richard, you got wrinkles."
Yeah, who told me that I've got grayer? Oh, a friend of mine.
Oh, you didn't hear that from her?
Yeah, last Saturday I didn't tell you this. I went out to dinner with a friend of mine from seminary. She drove from Syracuse to Utica and we ate at a Mexican restaurant. And she said, "Oh God, you've gotten gray. Is that a good thing?" And I'm
I guess.
like, "Oh, I
Uh-huh.
don't know. I don't know. Is it a good thing?"
How long you until you haven't seen her? Since you haven't seen her?
It's probably been 2, 3 years.
Oh, have you gotten gray? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I had a different kind of gel in my hair, which really shows my gray.
Oh, got to switch to gel.
Yeah, I've been lucky. I've been lucky with I've never colored my hair, but the different gel that I do put in my hair seems to cover up the gray.
And you're lucky you still have a full head of hair.
Yeah.
A full head of hair that grows very fast.
Hmm.
You cut it and it comes right back.
And what I learned from genetics
Thank
when I was
God.
in high school, I should be bald like my grandfather, but I'm not.
Is your dad bald?
No.
Oh, so I mean,
If I remember
your
correctly,
dad's
it
not
would
bald.
go it the genes a lot of times are
Skip.
passed from the maternal grandfather.
Uh-huh. So I mean, I don't know. One of those mysteries, but why even question it? Why even think about it?
I'm not questioning it.
You
I'm glad I have
you
hair.
survived. You evaded
I
it so
survived.
far.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Let's keep blessing that dome of hair.
So
Just
do
be
you want to
happy.
hear the news?
Sure.
So I was in a car accident yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you didn't get hurt,
I did
right?
not get hurt.
Thank God. What the hell happened?
I didn't see a car coming and I ran into it.
You didn't see it coming.
No.
It was going down the opposite side.
No, it was we were coming at an intersection.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, was it like going down the wrong side of the road?
No.
Well, thank God you're all right.
Yep.
That must have shook you up.
It
How's the
really shook
car?
me up. I'm praying that I mean, I got an estimate. I'm praying that they're going to be able to fix it, that the insurance company is willing to fix it. And,
You love that car.
yeah, well, I don't want to give up that car.
That's
That
wild.
was a
How
real
was the person
smack
you
in the
hit?
face. He was fine. Nobody was injured.
Okay.
And one of the primary reasons why I wanted to share that I had this accident with not just you, but people who watch the No Name Yet podcast is
Right.
because this man was so nice. It was unbelievable.
He didn't come out swinging, flipping out.
He
What the
did
hell's wrong
not.
with
Are
you?
you okay? We started talking. He works for another hospital. He
Wow.
noticed my badge from my hospital. Um, yeah, I mean, if at those times where you run into people who are being mean, being over the top, and you start losing faith in humanity, I want to just share that there are decent people out there, because if he came out and laid me out, I wouldn't have been mad at him.
Yeah. I mean,
you know.
that's how I would have assumed it would have went. Wow.
Yeah, no, he was very gracious. He exhibited a lot of grace.
Well, I'm glad you both are all right.
Yes.
And the only thing that could have made that situation better was if it was a woman and she was single and that started your rom-com right there. Boom, you hit the car. She comes out, "Oh my God, are you okay?" You're like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And then you guys wait for the did you wait for AAA or something?
No, we
Did you
both
wait for
drove
the
away.
cops?
We both
Oh
drove away.
wow.
Yeah.
Did people stop and see if you guys were all right? Were you guys like just chilling in the middle of the road?
Well, it was right here in the village of Scotia, so we had a sidewalk to stand on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, thank God you guys are all right.
Yes.
And too bad it wasn't a nice young lady coming out. Could have started your rom com right there.
Yeah. Our eyes would have locked. The
Yep.
music
Right
would have
after you
played in
almost
the
killed her.
background.
Right after you almost flipped her car.
Two birds would have landed on a tree behind us.
Yeah, maybe one of the cars could have been totaled, and one of you got to drive the other one home, and then you open a bottle of wine or something. You know what I mean? Find out she works at another hospital. And then obviously something has to happen in the middle to create some drama. Who knows what that's going to be? And then you come together at the end. Boom.
Yeah.
You need me and Mo's help to get her back. I don't know how much help we would be. Probably be very bad at that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mo would be looking in her windows.
Oh, as a crow.
Lisa!
He'd
Lisa!
He'd be giving her love notes as his crow character. He'd be flying
Lisa!
in. Crashing into love. There you go.
You gotta talk to Pastor.
The way he's showing up, I don't know if he'd be there. It might just be me.
Yeah.
He might not show up.
He wouldn't be there for his camera shot.
No. Well, glad you're all right.
Yeah, we're all right. So yeah, that's the way my work week started.
That's how Monday was?
Well, it's Tuesday. I had Monday off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, you went to work and that happened, or are you coming back?
I was going to work.
Oh my God. So the rest of the day that must have been shaken up, huh?
I was pretty shaken up.
Wow.
I did
contemplating the rest of your life after that. Like, what am I doing? What am I gonna do? Death is in any corner.
No, I didn't go that far.
I need to make change. I wake up like that. So if I got into a car accident,
no, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I got to make changes. I'm doing too much. I wasn't paying attention. I had too many things on my mind.
Chewing too much nicotine gum. You too wired up. What did you chew? Like, how many did you chew in that before that? Like 15?
No, actually, yesterday I did not chew that many. Believe it or not.
I don't.
I didn't. I've been chewing.
Wait. That was when it happened, right? Because today's Wednesday.
Right. Yeah, it was yesterday.
So it happened yesterday. I don't believe you didn't chew that much nicotine gum because that was the day of the accident. You were very stressed. And if I know one thing about you, it's when you're stressed or when you're anxious or something, or when you want to leave a place, my man goes. So I don't believe it. I'm going right on record right now and saying I don't believe what you just said.
Well, you cannot believe it, but I mean, I was kind of surprised because I did not chew as much yesterday as I normally chew, and I did
because you had adrenaline running through your veins for the whole day because you almost.
I don't know. I just don't think
that got killed.
I didn't almost kill somebody.
Well, I mean, you almost got killed. It's a very sticky situation in a car. Anything can happen.
Well, anything could happen, but
was it like a little hit, or was it like like that? Was it crazy?
No.
How did it go?
Well, I started out, and it was kind of more like a skim of the side of his car.
Like she was trying to. I mean, he was trying. See, I'm already thinking. He was trying to like get out the way. Already, he saw you kind of.
No, it was just kind of. He was going his way, and I pulled out, and we hit. And I mean, I wasn't going very fast, so his car kind of skimmed across.
Oh, okay.
But the way everything breaks away on these cars, I mean, it looked a lot worse than it actually was.
Oh, okay.
But everything is designed to
right?
break away. What?
You just got that car like last year?
Last May.
Well, okay, yeah. So hopefully we get that fixed up. That's your baby. Love that car.
Well, and I don't know that
you're still driving it around though.
Well, no, right now it's at the collision repair shop.
Oh, okay. So it was bad enough.
Yeah.
So what are you driving now?
My father's letting me use his car.
Okay. Nice.
Oh.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I'll start writing the treatment for your movie now. I'll write a book. I'll write a book about it. We'll do a podcast. We'll compete with Meet Cute. Since they don't want to hire me, we'll compete with them now.
All right.
We're going to be the direct competition.
So there's only one other thing that I wanted to talk about tonight, and we'll see how long this podcast goes. Just for the listening audience, viewing audience, for a while, my goal is going to be to shorten up these podcasts. So save a little time.
Why is that?
I want to save a little editing time.
That's a horrible excuse. That is a horrible excuse because you should be giving the audience everything you got, and it should not be a problem of editing. I suggest you reverse that right now. Because that sounds like you just don't want to edit. You need to give the people all the entertainment you can. and then editing should not be a factor in that. So I rule that I'm reversing that. Don't
All
say
right.
that again.
Let me.
My man said I'm gonna hold out on entertaining you because I don't want to edit.
No, there's more. There's more to it than that.
What is it? What is it?
There's more to it than that.
What is it?
That over the summer there
Yes.
was no clinical pastoral education.
Mm-hmm.
I had carved out some time, some self care time. I was doing pretty well, and then come September, start up clinical pastoral education, start up, you know, the things that occur in October with the denomination, and then
Right.
coming toward the holidays. That I would like to invest more time into the podcast, but right now, I feel a lot of times like my back is against the wall, and
Time
so
wise.
so I don't want to say I'm going to take a break from the podcast right now and not do it at all. I would just like to shorten up that editing time where I could spend, maybe an extra hour on writing a case for clinical pastoral education
Okay.
because there's a lot of writing involved.
Right. Right. So
Yeah.
you're gonna shorten the episode. What are you looking at? 30, 40?
Yeah, 30, 40. That's good.
You gotta see how they go.
Yeah. And
Come with less
and
topics.
this is my last unit of CPE. And for those who don't know what CPE is, clinical pastoral education, it's a training that chaplains go through. More denominations are having pastors do it, at least getting one unit. And it when you provide pastoral care for somebody, especially if it's in a clinical setting like a hospital, you write up a case, and then what they do is they look at what you did, but really what they're doing is they're looking at you and seeing where you may have been influenced by your own memories, which is called countertransference. And then there's other dynamics that they're looking for. And sometimes they make you take a big, deep look inside yourself. And you're like, oh, wow, I never would have thought that.
What is this? Therapy?
That would come out. It's in a way, it is. But
oh, my Lord. Sounds very involved.
It is. Well, the process is pretty straightforward, but it can get involved when you start digging into people.
That's right. People are tricky. People are messy. Can get crazy.
And for example, let me give you I didn't plan on talking about this, but since we're here, for example, there was a patient that believed that they were possessed. And I have a story about being in catechism. I had a catechism teacher that taught us all about demons. I was in 5th grade. Scared the heck out of me and my classmate. We were sleeping with Jesus statues and crucifixes in the bed to keep away the demons. She taught us all about the end times, told us very graphically what would happen if someone dropped a nuclear bomb.
Oh my God. In your 5th grade, you said?
5th grade, yeah.
Oh my God, let the kids play.
It scared the heck out of me. The next year, apparently, my mother couldn't figure out why I was acting the way I was acting, but the next year's parents got together, put their heads together, and figured out it was the catechism teacher, why their kids were acting so strangely, and had her removed.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, that was a pretty traumatic experience for me as a child. And so when I was doing the case, there was something that showed that something was going on with me during the case. And one of my peers picked it up, and it says, anything that you've ever dealt with where you might have been, like afraid of demons or something like that. And I'm like, bam. And I told them the story, and they're like, yeah, you really pulled back here, and you really,
How did they know you were afraid? Because you were pulling away from something, like
Well,
you weren't trying to get into it.
you just get into the document and you just, as you get to know your peers and as you get to know different stories about them and how they operate, it can be something subtle. It could be a word, one word.
Oh
What do you
my
mean by
god,
that word? And then,
that
it
is
starts revealing things about, it starts unpacking things that make up
that is
us as
incredibly
people.
critical. Jeez.
Yeah. But it's a pretty powerful exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, they didn't scare us with demons. It wasn't supposed to be scary, but it was something that got one of my teachers not fired, but they had to pull this part of school after that, like the year after us, because the next kids couldn't handle it. But you remember the Emmett Till story?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they showed us a tape of the Emmett Till story. To this day, it gives me chills thinking about it. So they show us a tape. They show us a tape. He's, they tell the story of the young man. He supposedly whistles at the white woman. The white woman, he doesn't. The white woman tells the two guys. The two guys come and they do unspeakable things to the kid. So they
Mm-hmm.
talk about this, and then you get to the funeral, and without any kind of warning, they show what he looked like when he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen that picture?
Yes.
Outrageous. Like you couldn't even. Am I wrong? Like that is
Horrific.
scary. And there was no warning. We're like in 7th grade, and they're just like, yeah, so he's in the coffin. Everybody was like, what? Like, wow. Like, I don't really subscribe to trigger warnings and stuff. I guess only if there's a flashing light that you can have a seizures. But I don't really like when they stop and they go, oh, this has blood, and this is like TikTok does that. Oh, this has fake blood. I think that's stupid. That one you should have got a warning for, because I was scarred for like 2 days. I didn't want to eat after that. I couldn't sleep that next night because of what I saw, how bad that kid was jacked up. And I think the next year, one of the that class could not handle it. Like one of the kids couldn't handle it. I remember who it was too, and I know for sure her mom went in there and was like, "Nope, we got to take that out." So that happened to us. That was crazy. If anybody's seen that, don't go searching for that. If you see it, you see it. But I don't suggest you go
How
looking for
did that
picture.
impact your view of racism?
I didn't have a. I mean, I view it the same way. It's whack. What do you mean? I didn't view my have a. I knew all that was happening already. Like people were getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
Just it was at that point racism wasn't even in my mind after I saw the kid's body. Like, oh yeah, I already knew racism's bad. Yeah, it sucks. It shouldn't be going on. People are horrible for that. But the image of the kid, that's what got me. That's what stuck with me. I was already in 7th grade. I knew all about racism and all that stuff.
Yeah. Pictures and stories like that, history like that, it just reinforces the depravity of racism.
Oh my god, to do that to a kid, that was I'll never forget that. I'll never forgot that story. I never forgot that picture. Still to this day, it freaks me out.
Yeah.
So that happened to me in school.
It had a big impact on you.
You got tortured by a teacher that was trying to teach you about demons.
Yes.
I think we're gonna get
And
into.
I've run into her a couple times as an adult.
What'd you do? What'd you say?
I still lurch back.
Do you tell
Like,
her like, yo?
there she is.
She's like very like what's it's like very like high strung on that stuff. It's like
I
she's
don't know
just
what
big
she's
on it.
like now, but she still has that same look in her eye.
Like she's just wired up.
Like I don't know. She says she's really connected with God, but I scratch my head going, I'm not exactly sure what she's connected with.
Well, I remember when we were talking about demons and stuff, like way early on and when we started talking, I was asking you if you think people are possessed. You brushed it off like, nah, no way. I did a college paper on it. Like, nah, I don't think so. You came off like very like, no, it's not possible. I didn't know that this was your upbringing. So do you believe in it or
Mm-hmm.
do you not believe in it?
Well, it's really hard to say. I believe
What do you
that there
lean
are
towards?
dark forces that do influence people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to say that they are demons, as in the imagery that I grew up with.
Right, the scary looking things.
Right. I'm not. I'm kind of saying I believe in forces that are evil, but
No, I can second that.
like
Like an
watching a
alien. It's like
horror movie, and demons start crawling out of the basement. Like whatever.
yeah, no, most
Yeah.
likely it's not like aliens. Like they don't look like if you're gonna see an alien, don't be prepared to see what you see on TV or in the movies,
Hmm.
unless they know what it's like and they made it. I don't think aliens look like that, but I think there's aliens. We don't know what they
We
look
don't
like
know
though.
what they
I don't
look
think.
like. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that case is a little fuzzy. I'm not gonna get too into it, but because then you do have like witness accounts of aliens, and that's what they said they look like. But in the
Hmm.
case of demons and stuff, it could be like invisible forces taking the shape of things that would scare you. But I do think I kind of agree with you that I don't think they look like that per se. I
Right.
think if something's dark, they would just take the shape of something that would scare you. Like in the It movie, you ever seen that? You ever seen It?
Is that the one with the clown?
Yeah, I mean, you got to watch the new one though. The old one's okay. It's good. You got to watch the new one because it takes the shape of what the kids are afraid of.
Okay.
So that's like something I would imagine it could do.
Speaking
So,
of clowns,
right. Where's this
um,
going? Can't wait. This can go a lot of ways.
well, when my grandfather was in the hospital, there was a hospital clown
I knew you
that
were
had,
gonna say that.
that had come into the room,
Oh my god.
and she was doing her act, and my uncle, who is
Are you
a
serious?
very mild mannered guy, was not having the clown because my
Yeah, bro.
grandfather
Like
was in pain.
he's dying and just hey honk honk. Like come on.
Yeah.
Like really? A
And
hospital
I think he
clown?
told her like something like "Get the hell out of here."
Yeah. As soon as I see those big shoes come in, hey. Oh, there's a lot of things I don't want to say on your show. I would say to that clown. Throw a bedpan at it. Full.
Yes.
Get out of here. Hey, I'm Rosie the clown. I heard you have cancer. Yeah, unless you can make it disappear, get the hell out of here. Unless you can
Yeah.
do a magic trick on my pancreas, get out.
I always wonder like how many patients just go along with it to be polite.
That I would probably honestly sit there and just observe and see what was going on. I would probably just sit there and just be like, if I survive this, I'm going to talk about this on my show because this is outrageous. Stupid clown.
I was in
I
a
would
hospital.
probably be the latter.
I was in a hospital one time visiting somebody, and a hospital clown came in, and she goes, "Oh, I want to give you an iPad." And for a split half second, I was like, "Ooh, I'd love an iPad, right?" And she hands me a little tiny spiral notebook with an eye on it, one of those googly eyes.
Should have threw it right at her head.
I'm like, "Oh yes, that's very
She
cute."
got you good. You thought she's
Yeah.
gonna what is this? You thought she's gonna come out with a nice new Apple iPad?
Well,
Like it's Make a
I
Wish?
mean, just for a split
I could be like,
tiny second.
that would be
Like,
good. They
oh,
give the
I'd love an
clowns
iPad.
iPads.
Yeah,
Yeah, make an iPad come out of your suit or something.
yeah.
Then that'll be good.
And then, of course, I mean, of course, she's not going to give me a real iPad.
You should have just threw the pad at her head. Did you keep that iPad?
Yeah, I did. I don't know. I don't know where it is
Oh, you
now,
should
but
have. That would
I
have been
put it in my
great.
pocket.
And she probably laughed and laughed.
Well, the woman that I was visiting absolutely enjoyed her.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
because I was waiting for her to snicker or to make some comments after the clown left, and there was none. She goes, "Oh, that was very nice. I'm glad she stopped it."
Well, since we're on your show, I'm not going to get into it, but I could just say that there's a lot of other things I would rather show up to the hospital to see me than a clown. And I'm sure you can kind of gather what some of them
I
may
think
be.
the audience can figure that out too.
I think we need to, I'm going to start a petition. We need some other things coming into those rooms and clowns for grown adults.
Yes. Well, so going back to demons, we're going to start talking about the last thing that we had planned on talking
Yeah.
about. which is the Travis Scott concert.
Right. Wow. Big event.
Big event.
Too big. Too big.
And for those that don't know, in Houston, Texas, in a concert event called AstroWorld, Travis Scott, a rapper, was performing, and the venue got overwhelmed by people who broke through the security checkpoint and flooded the audience area, and people were crushed. I think some people were stampeded, weren't they?
I'm sure a few.
And
I've seen with my own eyes people getting trampled for sure.
okay.
In the morning.
And was it 8 people dead?
Yep.
And what, 300 injured?
Yep. That's what they say.
And so I don't know that I would have. Well, I would have eventually heard about it because it was covered on a couple shows that I watched.
Oh,
on
you
YouTube.
would have heard about it in like the next day after I told you.
But Griddy brought it to my attention before service on Sunday to pray for the people who were killed, injured, their families. And you were quite disturbed by it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually get shaken up by things, but I had seen it and I just was watching it all night. I was watching people talk about it. Now there's more videos coming out about from people who were there. They're going on TikTok, they're going on Instagram, whatever, and they're all sharing their stories. I had seen one witness account, and then that was like the first one where the kid was like in the dark and he was talking about it. And then kind of the footage came out, and then and I was just up all night watching all this stuff. And I was freaked out. It was horrible to see.
And what was your
goes to shows? It was really heartbreaking to see that.
Yeah.
You go to show to have a good time, and then all that happens, and to die that way where you're being like suffocated. Because I know that's like one of my things. When I was in that elevator and there was so many people there, it was so hot. You know, we were all cramped together. We weren't even that cramped. We were kind of cramped when I got stuck in the elevator. I'm not going to go into that story, but so I can only imagine a fraction of the terror of somebody in that situation. Now you got the music blaring, you can't breathe, you fall, you get trampled, whatever. Horrific. And then obviously the real part of this, for those that don't know, is that the show continued while all this was going on, and Travis Scott did not stop the show. Some people think he didn't see him. Some people think he didn't know the gravity of the situation. What we do know is that he saw an emergency vehicle in the crowd that was being surrounded and danced upon. The show was not stopped. That's the one thing you know. We also saw that 2 guys came up on stage around that time, I believe when the emergency vehicle was there, whispered something in his ear, and he said, yeah, all that, and continued the show. We don't know what they said, but I'm sure it wasn't, there's an edible arrangement waiting for you in the back. I'm sure it was something of people are getting f***ed up. We don't know what they said, but we can only imagine. And you could definitely hear when the music stopped, people screaming for help. Not everybody was. The whole crowd wasn't. There were pockets of it that were enjoying it, but there were people dropping.
And there are people yelling to stop the show.
Yeah, stop the show, help. I mean, you can hear people screaming for bloody murder.
People climbed up the scaffolding up to the cameras, asking them to stop the show. They pushed the cameras down to get some of what was going on camera. And I heard somebody recounting a story because Apple TV was there recording the concert.
Yeah, I think that's what that camera was for.
So the cameraman said basically pushed him away and kept recording the concert.
And to be fair, the camera guy, I did hear people on Instagram or whatever saying in our section that wasn't going on. We didn't see that, and that was actually around the camera guy. Okay. They were saying we didn't see any of the mayhem going on. We knew it was tight, we knew it was crazy, but we didn't know the severity of the situation from where we were. Also, the guy's holding a massive camera. Well, he's operating a massive camera with the headphones on, possibly an earpiece telling him what to do. I'm not saying, don't. This guy's the last guy you should probably crucify. This guy's the last guy you should probably be thinking about in this situation.
Well, yeah, you have
There's
a
a
point.
lot more people to blame. Also, what is that? That guy has probably no way to stop the show. What is he going to do? Especially if he doesn't know the severity of the situation. You think the guy's going to try and lose his job for something he doesn't even like? The guy's
I'm not gonna push back on him. I just wanted to get.
I'm not saying
name
you.
out
I'm
there.
saying for the people that are.
Yeah.
I could see the people saying that. There's a lot of other people to blame here. Mostly the venue. From what I hear, a lot of people's wristbands weren't even scanned, so we know that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we saw multiple entrances being stampeded into. The gates were broken into. So now, in my brain, tickets aren't being scanned. We don't know how many people are there. How can you comply with fire codes and safety when you don't even know how many people are there? Because rule number 1 is you need a capacity. So if you're over capacity, how do you know if you're not scanning tickets?
And the question that I have too is, I don't have a desire in my spirit to let Travis Scott off the hook, but who was running the venue?
Right.
I mean, they could have shut down the event.
They're not going to shut down the event because they know what that requires you to lose money, and that's not what they're going to do. That's the last thing they're going to do. It was a 2-day event, so the next day they had more money coming in. They weren't going to shut it down. They should have shut it down when you saw. If nobody saw them going into the place, it was. I've never seen that like that.
Mm.
I've been to so many concerts. I've never seen people stampede to get in the show. It was like a bunch of kids. It was like a bunch of animals. Forget kids. So that's number 1. Is that nobody was even. A lot of people weren't even scanned in. So how do you know the capacity of people there? So they let that slide. Mm-hmm. They also let the behavior slide. Because not only did they get in without being scanned, they got in such a way where everybody was getting hurt. They were running in. They were breaking stuff, destroying property. Security guards couldn't handle it. Some security guards walked off, which I would have done. One of them walked out. He was like, I'm not prepared for this. And he left. So the venue is number 1 at fault for letting that happen. That's where the blame goes first, is the venue.
Right. Yeah. So one of the things that you mentioned to me was that you felt there was a demonic spirit, that a lot of it felt demonic to you.
Well, that's what people were saying. That's what, like, the first night, I don't usually throw that word around when it comes to the music industry. A lot of people do. I watch a lot of conspiracies, and I don't know where I fall on that. So that's the word a few people were saying on YouTube. I think that, number 1, when you talk about like a stage show or something, a lot of stage shows could look demonic or crazy, and they're not about that. I'm the first person to say if I know something is like for real with Satanists or something, I'm not going to be a part of it. But if it's just like a cool look, if it's like Kiss, Gene Simmons is like a demon and they have fire and stuff, I don't think it's a demonic show.
Mm-hmm.
But some people were saying that they legitimately felt it in the air, or some people just felt it, like it was like a palatable feeling that it was something wicked going on. And then when the guy, he did stop the show once or twice, maybe 3 times, not stop it, he paused it, I should say. And there was a scene where the kid is he stopped the show to get a kid out of there, and they're picking the kid's body out. We don't know if he died or not. And he's singing this really creepy song. He's like, I don't even want to do it because I'm not even going to do it justice. You have to watch it. They got some low bass going on, and he's just like, yeah, in this really creepy way. And I don't know if anything looked demonic except for that. That looked crazy scary.
And what was he standing on?
Like some big pole, some big perch. I'm not even going to criticize that. Fine, you want to stand on a big pole, it's your show. But you have the bird's eye view of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to sing while the kid is getting dragged out? I've never seen that. When I've been to a show, it was...
You sent that to me.
Yeah, it was creepy to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't really fall into, like, again, the whole demonic thing in the music industry. Some people are talking about it was a sacrifice. I don't know what to tell you, because there's a lot of people at fault here. It's not just him. But that scene right there looked crazy. And then you go with the apology, which was totally dumb.
Yeah, you told me about the apology. I didn't. I didn't
You
see
should
it.
watch it. It's only 50. You can pull it up right now. It's only 15 seconds.
Okay.
Pull it up and tell me what you think about it. But so yeah, I don't know if there was. I can't tell you 100% sure if there's a demonic thing going on with the show. I wasn't there, and I try not to, go too deep into that stuff
Uh-huh.
and jump to conclusions. But if that's what people are saying that were fans of the event, possibly. I think they exist. I think all that like dark forces exist. And if something was, and then you get to the part where there's somebody injecting possibly fentanyl into the guard, the security guard.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the news. They were saying, "Oh, we don't know if that's true." Well, it came out that a guy was injected in the neck. Who knows what was going on that night? That's some sinister stuff.
There seems to be a lot of things going on that. Oh, you got to be kidding me.
What?
Um, this is Elon Musk doing a commercial in the bathtub.
Okay. What is he like, Bert and Ernie?
This is insane.
So it's very possible there could have been something demonic going on, to wrap my statement up. I don't know. I could just say that video looked pretty wicked to me. That like some exorcism stuff, the way the kid was all dead and then he's singing that creepy song. And then he goes to Dave & Buster's with Drake after that. My man went to Dave & Buster's after that. So he's talking about, I didn't know what was going on the whole night. I didn't know about it till later. You're the head of the event. There's no way you don't know.
Yeah, and I just watched a little bit of the apology.
People were dropping before the show was over, like during the whole show. And they told him he needs to cut the show short, which apparently they did. I don't know. So you're going to go to Dave & Buster's and tell me you don't know what's going on?
So there's a headline here that said Travis Scott went to a party after AstroWorld.
Yeah.
Unaware of the tragedy, sources say.
I don't believe that. I don't believe you're unaware. I think the apology was, look at his body language. I mean, it looked like he just woke up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, wipe the crust out of your eyes before you get on camera.
It says family of 9-year-old in coma after Travis Scott AstroWorld tragedy.
I'm sorry for all my fans and stuff. Like, I would do anything for my fans. Like, can you just really? That's how you're gonna address the situation? Wake up. Throw some water on your face. Drink a coffee.
Yeah, look interested.
Yeah, get a little excited here. It's a bit, because trust me, you're excited now with those 30 lawsuits coming at you. Now his back is straight. He's awake.
Mm-hmm. Says Rockets postponed Travis Scott Day.
How about we end Travis Scott Day, not just postpone it? Let's have a Travis Scott Day where we have great concerts, but he's not there. He's absent. They just replaced him at Coachella. I think it was Coachella. They replaced him at some event with Post Malone, who I love Post Malone. So I'm glad. And he got dropped from Fortnite.
Did he?
Yeah, he did a virtual concert at Fortnite. I think that's the only way he could do concerts from now on. He could do virtual concerts because then only your avatars die and not real people.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Well,
those avatars will be dropping.
And on the search page right here is Travis Scott Tickets 2021 concert tour dates from Ticketmaster.
I don't think there's going to be a tour.
Yeah. Let's see what. The one thing I wanted to point out, when the word demonic was, floated about this concert,
right?
When Apple was involved in this concert.
Oh, so you right up your alley.
Do you know that that the first Apple One cost $666?
No, I didn't know that.
I just heard that today.
Wow. And then you got the whole everybody that points at Apple for being demonic. They always point out the bite out of the apple. That's like the first thing they go to. Oh, what's the fruit? An apple. There's a bite. It's demonic. I'm like, yes. It's kind of, I don't know. You never know. I mean, if you go down that rabbit hole, you hear a lot of things. There's people that point out different things. They pointed out how his shirt was, there was blue people and they went through a door and they became red with like flames. They had the stage set that said, see you on the other side. I mean, it's up for your interpretation, what you think.
Right.
But people were saying that, I mean, this is what, again, people at the event were saying, that there was bodies everywhere. That there's one girl said there's no way it was only 8 dead, or there's no way it was what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what people that were there.
And I listened to the whole interview with the nurse that was there.
Oh man, what a heartbreaking interview, huh?
Yeah.
And good thing, talk about like a blessing in disguise, right? I mean, she passes out, doesn't get to enjoy the show anymore, but then because she passed out, she was able to assist all the medical staff who apparently were not equipped for that.
Not
Some
even,
of them not
some
even
of them not even
equipped
trained.
in the brain.
Yeah.
Forget equipped in technical in equipment. They weren't even equipped in the dome because she was like, "Oh, do this." I don't know how to do that. And who knows? No shots at them because maybe they're just untrained. They were new early in their training, but apparently some of the security guards they hired, they were talking about they didn't even ID me. They didn't check my credentials. I showed up. I got the job. So if that's how they did the medical staff, then wow, really negligent. So thank God that lady was around to hopefully save some lives.
Yeah, and for her to say that she had worked in emergency room and ICU, and she said she had never seen anything like that.
That's what gave me chills too, because
Yeah.
we're just coming off of like huge pandemic. So for you to never have seen something like that makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
Is it only 8?
Is it only 8?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, makes me think, is it only 8 people?
Oh, okay, 8 people. Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
I think they had to put up a picture of somebody's body because they couldn't identify him at all. So they had to put a picture of the body and basically be like, whose man's is this?
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's wild. And then now you have all the other stuff coming out about Travis from prior shows, how he tried to get. Did you see the one about the shoe?
No.
Somebody took his shoe at a concert like a while ago. They tried to take his shoe, stopped the show, told the crowd to beat him up, spit on the kid, got him. The kid had to flee the scene basically. And it's like, are you a rock star or not? Because I've never seen that behavior from a rock star in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen people get their shoes taken. Jewelry is one thing. Okay, if somebody takes your jewelry, that's very precious. You're how much of a millionaire are you? You can't part with a shoe?
Part with a shoe.
Yeah, I've seen people, my favorite groups have had their shoes taken. They love it. I've seen, people, rock stars strip and throw their stuff in the crowd, and you're trying to keep it on? Come on, bruh. And you're going to spit on the kid? And that's, now I'm glad everybody's bringing those events up because now you're looking at the guy like, okay, your past is, we can't exclude, we can't exempt you from this right now. We can't give you a pass because of all the stuff prior. You like this kind of stuff. You want this chaos to go on.
And he's encouraged people to push past the entrance gate in the past too.
And that's why you would have what you had happen because people get the idea from who? From him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they busted through the gates. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. I'm sure it's happened before, but I mean, come on, you're going to encourage that.
Right.
I can see encourage moshing, crowd surfing, this, that. You're going to go that overboard? Storm the gates? What are you, a dictator? What are you, like a king of an army? Storm the freaking gates? I think that was his words. Don't quote me, but I heard that was his words. Well, you're going to be storming a courtroom real soon.
Yeah, he will be. And
lawsuits.
And I probably wouldn't have gotten as invested in this story if I didn't sense how much it disturbed you.
Well, I'm glad because it disturbed a lot of people. So I think everybody should take a look at it.
Yeah,
because it shouldn't fly.
No, it shouldn't.
You shouldn't let this go.
And is this incident something that was inspired by a stroke of evil, or was this event by a stroke of negligence, or both?
Yeah, I don't know where to fall on it. Like I said, I'm not a conspiracy. I like conspiracy theories. I listen to them. Some of them I believe, some of them I don't. I don't know where to fall on this one. I'm not going to jump to conclusions. All I'm going to say is it's not looking good for him. It wasn't whichever one it is not good.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't an accident. There's no way. You saw the police car or the emergency vehicle. You saw the kid getting dragged out. I mean, and this stuff happens at shows all the time. That people drop, people OD. This stuff happens, but for it to happen on this massive scale and you're not stopping it, I mean, and you knew what was going on. You're gonna go to Dave and Buster's after that? You should have been preparing your statements for court.
Yeah, it seems that even the people that are working for him may, would direct him to, why don't you lay low for a little bit here.
It's
Let's
all
see
about
how
the
this.
money.
Yep.
It's all about you don't want to stop a show that big because you have another day ahead. You don't want to lose all that money. That's what I'm assuming their thought process is. Because how do you not intervene when the initial events go down of people storming in?
Mm-hmm.
Right there's going to be massive action taken. And to not tell people to back up, at least, during the show, like everybody needs to take a couple steps back because it's looking a little too crowded right now. A lot of things you could have done. Some woman said that she asked to be taken out by the guardrail, and the security guard said, "If you're not passing out, I can't take you out." Huh. Really? Chick is like 5'4", 5'3". You're not gonna take her out? I've never seen that. I've been to so many. I've never even heard of that. I've been to concerts, tons of them. I never heard of something like that. I've seen people they're asked to get taken out. You get taken out.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. There's a lot more coming out about the event every day. That's why I said on Sunday, I said I can't wait till Friday because the way stuff is coming out at such an alarming rate, by Friday, it's going to get real good. They already got the lawsuits. There's a 9-year-old fighting for his life. And there was a video of like a 4-year-old in the crowd on their dad's shoulders.
Really?
So not only is Travis responsible and the venue responsible, but it's also the people that stampeded in. I hope I don't want to gloss over that at all. Mm-hmm. The people that stampeded in, didn't buy a ticket, and acted like jackasses are very responsible. The people that don't help people in the crowd, extremely responsible. It's just a show. I have been in many shows where, everybody stops what they're doing and picks somebody up. Somebody needs to get out, you crowd surf them out. If somebody's in the middle of the crowd and they want to get out, you pick them up and you throw them out and you throw them towards security. There's a lot of things you got to do, and people were not doing it. People were talking, if you can't stand it, get out, but people couldn't get out. So some people were not very compassionate in that crowd.
Yeah,
and
lack of empathy.
A lot of the people that trampled over other people's backs to get in. So those people are very responsible too. Very responsible.
Yes.
It falls on a lot of different people. You're going to jump on a security vehicle while they're in the crowd. And for him not to be like, let's not crowd this vehicle. That's also like, really?
Yeah, that was an ambulance, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was like, how do you not stop the show and go, okay, like, let's move out this way. Get off the emergency vehicle. Because that thing was right in front of him. It was not that far. You could see a shot from the stage. It's right there. So that's like pretty incriminating evidence right there that he didn't even tell him to move out of the way of the vehicle.
Yeah, this is going to be something, isn't it?
Oh, I can't wait till Friday. Well,
why don't we wrap this up? And we'll end with a prayer.
That's right.
Do you have anything that you want to
I have nothing to say
on?
after the prayer. I'm not going to do it today. Okay. Wait, do I? No, I don't think so. It might come to me during the prayer. I usually get divine inspiration during the prayer.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. All right. Let us pray.
Okay. Wait, one more thing.
Okay.
Actually. So I think TMZ is definitely trying to like help him out because I don't know if you've seen this. There's a VIP section for the event, right? And I felt this was so stupid. There's a VIP section and there TMZ has a video of the VIP section and the headline was Kylie Jenner looking concerned during the events. She had a mask on. How do you know that she looked concerned? That was like the dumbest headline I ever seen.
I saw that headline.
Her with a mask on, looking around.
She was at that concert.
Yeah, she was not that concerned. If they're taking video and, she's not trying to run backstage to tell him, oh my God, that's his wife. You don't think that if she was that concerned, she'd go back there and start, heads will, she's a Kardashian. The heads will roll if they want them to roll. Are you kidding me? She was concerned. Now, I'm not saying she wasn't. I'm saying, how do you know when she got a mask on? You can't see her face. It's dark and you're 40 feet away and you're going to write a headline. She's concerned.
She's concerned.
Yeah. What are you, mind readers? Yeah, we got an expert mind reader on the scene. And they said she was concerned. Go on with the prayer. That was so stupid.
Okay. All right. Let us pray. Father God, we know that you sit high and that you look low. And that, Lord, when we look across this nation, when we look across the world, that we can identify things that inspire a sense of fear, a sense of alarm, and a feeling that there is evil in this world. So, Lord, I ask that you protect us, that you protect your people, and that, Lord, that everyone who's heard of your Son, Jesus Christ, will look to him as a guide, will look to him as their protector, will look to him as their friend, will look to him as their Savior. That, Lord, I know this is your world, that it is your creation, and that we know that your Son, Jesus Christ, is coming back. And in the meantime, that, Lord, bless your people. And that, Lord, may each one of us help someone out that is in need, that is in trouble. And Lord, that each of us individually choose to live a way that would reflect as much Christ in us as possible. So, Lord, I thank you for everything that you provide. And I ask that you be with the families of the injured and that you be with the families of the dead. And that, God, we look to you, we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Much love to everybody who passed away and who was affected. We love you all.
All right. Well, thank you, Griddy.
Thank you.
And I know you're on breaks.
Wasn't a 30-minute episode. It got a little longer than you expected.
Well, we'll see we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I only have to bleep out one F-bomb.
I dropped an F-bomb and I dropped the S-bomb.
Okay.
I might have dropped 2 S-bombs. But it did pretty good.
Well, thanks again.
Thank you.
Good night.